And we're live, everybody. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. We only have one guest today. His name is Jay Nagy. If you haven't already, please subscribe to his YouTube channel. I know it's hard to hit a red button, okay? I know it's a titanic effort to hit a freaking button on the computer. Anyway, welcome, Jay. What would you like to talk about?
I'll start off with the proliferation of people who have just enough knowledge to be dangerous.
Keenan Grace.
Who's that?
If you have somebody else in mind, you can go ahead and we'll talk about him later.
No, what we were talking about is a guy who runs, for the most part, it's a pretty good YouTube podcast. It's called Valuetainment. Guy's entertaining. He breaks down a lot of stuff financially. But today I'm listening to him, as I do, just to get ideas listening to other people, and starts talking about if hyperinflation happens. And he starts talking about how you want to own assets because it's the wealthy it's the asset owning class that'll benefit from hyperinflation, which I think we're in for a lot of inflation. I don't think we're in for hyperinflation where it's, Weimar Germany or Venezuela. But he's talking and he says, you want to own things that aren't duplicatable. And he says, is land duplicatable? Clearly it's not. And then he goes to, is Bitcoin duplicatable? And I'm just sitting there watching this and I'm like, how can a guy who's clearly that sharp, because he is an intelligent dude, not understand that my buddy John can make a cryptocurrency in a weekend in his house? So yes, Bitcoin is duplicatable. And then he starts talking about, you want to own gold. Okay, you might want to own a gold mining company, but you don't want to just sit on gold, because if hyperinflation did happen and I'm trying to exchange goods with you and you're like, here, dude, take this gold dust. I'm going to be like, bro, I need food and water. And then he starts talking about cards. Oh, my Wayne Gretzky card with whatever jargon, PS rating, stupid thing, not an investment rating. And I'm just sitting there going, dude, you have 1 million subscribers. You have a duty to at least say baseball cards are like art. It's still always going to be the greater fool theory in those too. It's what it is. You're betting. If I buy VT, what am I buying? I'm buying the cash flows of all the companies in the world. It's an asset. If I'm buying a Wayne Gretzky baseball card for $1 million, that means I'm just speculating that 30 years from now, I'll be able to sell that baseball card. Plus, I run into the problem of if there's a fire in my house, that $1 million card is now destroyed. Where if there's a fire in my house and I own an index fund, I still own that index fund.
Well, that's why you need to put if you have Bitcoin, at least you can put it in your Bitcoin wallet. So even if your house burns down, you won't lose it.
Yeah, and then Bitcoin is still the greater fool theory that you posted to Reddit earlier today.
Yeah, that was the Shiba Inu forum. I like to troll all these new cryptocurrency forums because it's all a massive scam. You have all these people that are vulnerable and they don't have a lot of money and they're desperate and they don't think they're ever going to get ahead. And they're easily swindled by promises of easy wealth, which is what these cryptocurrencies are and what these other things are, cards, whatever. So that's how people get sucked in, and whatever meager savings they have, which should be put into, broadly diversified index funds, they buy basically commodities that aren't going to compound over time. They're just going to go up in price, but not value. So that's what happens. All these people are going to get swindled eventually when a lot of these cryptocurrencies and, speculative markets come down to earth, which is really sad. But when people are desperate, you can easily put the fear of God in them or give them hope that you can change their life by just buying a cryptocurrency, for example. I think it's kind of scummy, but A lot of people just don't
Well,
believe they can get ahead.
It's also, there's an arrogance out there that if you tell people you're not going to beat an index fund, there's entire divisions within hedge funds with guys with PhDs in mathematics sitting around trying to find a way to beat the market. That's why it's called beating the market. And it's rare that people do it over 10, 20 years. But there's also a certain level of arrogance when I tell you, okay, Bitcoin is not really a commodity. Well, let's see your portfolio. Okay, well, this is just an appeal to authority anyways when I'm debating you. So it's like a guy said, I criticized Stockmo, and he said, he's like, says a lot that a channel with 77 subscribers would criticize a guy with 500,000. And I'm just sitting there going, dude, you're an idiot. Like, that's the exact same thing is that guy saying that the world is flat and me saying that the world is round. And then you coming back at me and going, well, you only have 77 subscribers. It's an arrogance that these people with these large channels actually know what they're talking about. And, even in the financial markets, it's said, if it bleeds, it leads.
I mean, I say this all the time. People have no idea why stocks go up. They see it go up. Some of these meme stocks go up parabolically, and they think, oh, that trend is going to continue. And they have no idea that, the majority of these stocks are going up because other people are being convinced by YouTubers and the media to buy the stocks. And because of the promise of easy riches, they don't understand that you want to buy a company that, has, growing future cash flows. So, you can grow and compound your wealth over time. But they have no idea that it's just a lot of these stocks are going up because of speculative mania. So when they see somebody that makes a lot of money in Bitcoin, the person looks like a genius retroactively. But in reality, that person just got lucky. I mean, think about Dogecoin investors. Like, okay, some people put money into it, whatever. Let's see what happens. And then it went up. But that didn't mean they had future powers to be able to see the future. They were so intelligent that they were able to identify that Dogecoin was going to go up. They just got extremely lucky. But people don't understand that.
Well, okay. I would say, and most of the people that listen to us like what we're saying anyways about index funds. But, it's hard to explain to somebody that's new to investing and they're watching these guys who I'm doing a React series to the guys that give testimonials about Jeremy's stock market group. And this guy on Reddit who's he's a financial analyst, and he was criticizing Jeremy, and he's saying, hey, watch the guy's videos, but don't pay this guy $24,000. He's grifting you.
Is it 24 now? I called yeah, because I called,
or maybe it's 20. Okay, maybe it's 20.
Yeah, it's like 20.
Okay, but even that, he's like, he's grifting you, and then these people come to his defense with his track record, and I go, okay, up until last year when he saw exorbitant gains, as we all did, like he's telling, the guy on the phone's telling you he saw 70% gains last year. I saw 75% gains if I had just left the money in my one M1 Finance pie. And I did almost zero work for that. And the reason I did that is to show you that the markets are irrational. And these people are running to his defense, and this guy goes, in the last 10 years, you almost could have thrown darts at the wall and you would have gotten exorbitant returns. And they're like, well, it's 18% return over the past decade. Okay, the U.S. Growth Index Fund that I own, 18% growth over the past decade. I didn't do any work. I didn't take any risk, but it's hard to get people to understand. And I heard this put best in one of in the latest Berkshire meeting, where Warren Buffett was talking about, he asked Bill Gates, if you had to put money into a tech stock and then go to an island for 40 years, which one would you choose? Bill Gates said, I would choose Microsoft. But if I had my choice, I would take Coca-Cola. So the point is that if you want to buy individual stocks and play that game, you need to say to yourself, if I were to buy this stock and go to an island for the next 40 years, which company am I betting would still be around? Well, personally, I would take 3M over Coca-Cola because I'm betting you're going to still be taking a dump in 40 years. So you're going to need toilet paper.
You know, a lot of things seem like they're crazy, but maybe in the future they'll come out with devices that just like process crap inside your body so you don't even have to expel it. You know, maybe they have like little microbots that eat all your feces inside your body. So maybe even then you could be wrong, Jay. I would put my bets on Walmart. But of course I'm a Walmart.
That's another one that I would bet on, and I don't have a problem with that. You know, it's like if somebody said, I'm going to throw all my money in Walmart and disappear for 40 years and be like, you made a smart bet. But it's like this arrogance that these people that are new to the markets have where they're like, you are arrogant if you think that you can consistently outperform the market because you are trying to predict the future.
Yeah, I mean that's my fundamental argument is I don't know what the future is. I don't know which countries are going to do well. I don't know if America is always going to stay dominant. I don't know. It's possible, but I don't know. So I hedge my bets and I buy everything. That's my philosophy, and I think it's going to work very well because a lot of people might be surprised if emerging markets take off in the next 10, 20, 30 years, which I think it's a high probability that's going to happen. Well, and if that does happen and people are concentrated in the U.S., they're going to be missing a lot of gains, or they're going to switch up too late.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you. There is a high potential for emerging markets to outperform everything, but I also think owning the total U.S. stock market isn't the worst thing either. It's probably smarter to own the world, but owning the U.S. market, because I still think we'll be selling them goods too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that the U.S. stock market will be higher in 30 years, but my worry is, you know, we have much more government debt, you know, and that right there could be a huge hindrance on future growth. And then you never know, like, you know, our country is, most people are in the middle class. Like we don't have this huge swath of poor people that are going to, you know, move up into a higher echelon of income and then start spending that money. I wouldn't say we're peaked, but we're not going to be growing as fast as other economies. Whereas like China or India, and there's massive, or even Africa, in the long run, there's massive potential for those people to join the middle class and start spending money and, you know, consuming goods. So in the long run, I mean, I'm not super bullish on the United States, especially with the massive run up we've seen in the stock market and how much government debt we have and how much we want to spend. I mean, look at Biden's budget. Doesn't he want to spend like $6 trillion a year? Like, that's crazy.
I don't understand. I don't. Yes, if you own the printing press, you can print the money. But always remember, when does something collapse? Right at the exact point where nobody takes it serious anymore. Right when everybody's like, what? $10 trillion budget? That's right at the exact moment the world no longer accepts the United States as the reserve currency. And when people say, well, that could never happen. Yeah, just like the Roman Empire could never collapse either.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is read a freaking history book. Like, America is not going to be dominant forever. I mean, yeah, we'll still be a massive player in the world. I think we always will be. But we're not going to be this super, ultra, mega superpower that we've been for the past 20, 30 years.
I think we'll be more akin to England. I think the world is going to revert to a world where there's multiple superpowers that kind of balance each other out, like there was the United States and the Soviet Union. I think because we're incurring so much debt, I think by probably the end of this century, and climate change also is going to affect Russia, where they're going to be able to grow a lot more crops in what was formerly tundra. And I think that there's going to be multiple world powers. I can't predict which ones. I can just take an educated guess. Like Brazil might be, you know?
Yeah, it's possible. I would definitely. China's obviously a good bet. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Russia's not going anywhere. I mean, if Africa gets its crap together and they actually unite, which I don't see happening because they're actually super diverse in Africa. But if they somehow could unite and really grow, they could, because like their population is exploding. Like I think they're going to have like 4 billion people by the end of the century, which is crazy. And everybody else's population is flattening or declining because birth rates have gone down. So, I mean, I see a lot of stagnation in a lot of places and then a lot of growth in like India and Africa, but it could take decades for stuff to sort itself out. So I'm not saying just only invest in Africa or India, but who knows?
I wouldn't advise running in there right now. It's going to take. It's going to be a little bit more of a stabilization process because this is how it's going to work. Eventually, number one, the world's going to get sick of China's crap, so people will start moving manufacturing out of there because also Chinese labor will become too expensive at a certain point. Then they'll transition over to a financial economy. Plus, they have the problem of the one-child policy and the fact that they're growing old without people to replace them. So then you go, okay, well, where's manufacturing going to go? It's going to go somewhere in Asia, maybe India. Then as India becomes wealthy, it's going to go to Africa.
Yeah, and then eventually we're not going to make anything because everybody will be wealthy, right? No, we'll probably have robots doing all that by then, but
yeah. But it's so hard. I don't know if I already mentioned this. A guy said on my YouTube channel when I posted a Warren Buffett video where he said the average person is best off putting their money in an S&P fund. The guy goes, well, let me see your portfolio if that's the case. And I go, so your argument to invalidate Warren Buffett is to try to find out the size of my portfolio. These are the geniuses that are answering me on my YouTube channel.
I actually, there was this guy, it was on the Wall Street Bets Facebook group. This was like a couple months ago. And he was like bragging and calling me stupid. And then he posted his like $10,000 Robinhood portfolio. He's like, show me your portfolio, bro. So I went and took like a small snapshot from my thrift savings plan. I posted it in there. And then he deleted his comment because he was just so taken aback by how much I saved from boring index funds. But it was kind of nice to like shut some of these people up. Like, oh yeah, you don't have any money, you're broke. And then you're like, oh, I actually have like 20 times more than you. So shut up.
Yeah, it's the only people I hear saying that are people with like $10,000 accounts. It's the only people that I hear, because a dude with 100K is just like, oh, all right. I mean, that's your theory, because they had to be somewhat educated on it to get that far.
Well, it's hard to really believe in the Boglehead philosophy until you've done it for like 5 or 10 years, because you're not going to see these instant rewards. You know, like when I started off, I had $3,000, but I set up my TSP. I didn't think about it. And then 5-10 years down the road, I was like, holy crap, this stuff actually works. But you're not going to see instant gratification, which is why nobody wants to believe it.
Yeah, it's you brought it up. It's the recency bias where everybody's like, oh, well, for the past 5 years, for the past 10 years, we've been in a ridiculous bull run. The past 5 years has just been unlike anything. Oh, so it's always going to be up like this. Like,
have you seen the Japanese stock market? What happened to them? Like, that's why I'm so scared of just investing in the U.S. Because if you look at what happened to Japan in like what the 70s or 80s or something like that,
it was the late 80s, early 90s, and it still hasn't recovered.
You got crushed. Yeah.
Although I would say, you know, if you were just crushing your 401k along the line, you'd have been fine. If you were living below your means and you went into retirement and you're like, yeah, just live off. I'll just use these dividends to augment my life.
Yeah, I mean, if you even in like a bear market, even if the market drops significantly and then like goes up and down going forward, if you're dollar cost averaging, you're still going to get some growth because you're buying in at highs and lows. So to me, that's always the best strategy in the long run. But I mean, if you're one of those guys that tries to time the market, like, bro, it went down, so I'm gonna buy in at this point and I'm gonna sell at this point, bro, you're gonna screw it up every time.
Oh yeah, because again, imagine, this is a hard thing for people to understand. Imagine predicting what a schizophrenic guy is going to do in the next 10 minutes. That's basically what you're trying to do when you're trying to time the market. Because we've already established Mr. Market is extremely irrational at the present time, but rational down the road.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a really smart investor, you can use that to your advantage, but most people don't have I don't think I have enough knowledge or information to really make decisions. But I mean, if you really know what you're doing, you can take advantage of those irrationalities, but it's a high risk gamble, which is why I always say 5% of your portfolio, maybe 10, but nothing more than that.
I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I just sold a year ago. I made a small bet on natural gas pipelines. So I made 70% over the past year on it. I decided to take profits because MLPs are extremely tax efficient. Now I'm deciding, do I want to use those profits, $350? Do I want to buy a share of Berkshire? Or do I want to keep this money and speculate with it?
Speculate, dude. I started screwing around with, I put like $1,500 in my Robinhood, and I'm playing around with options on all the AMC and I'm betting against all those stupid meme stocks. And I actually put an option. I bet against long-term interest rates. So, I mean, we'll see how I do. But, I mean, if I lose all my money, I don't care. But it's been a fun experiment. So, if you're bored or you got nothing to do, just put that $350 in Robinhood and screw around with options or something.
Yeah, but
it is fun. I can see the appeal, but you are gambling. Like, you should see the fluctuations in my options. Like, it goes up 60% and then it goes down 40%. It's like, but it's fun. But don't do a lot of gentlemen, because I only use a very small percentage of my portfolio, because you can lose it all. So I wouldn't recommend that don't think you're going to get rich quick. It's just for fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll try. Michael Burry, though, he bet against Tesla at the end of the year. And Michael Burry is usually about 6 months to a year too early on calling everything.
Yeah, I took the same bet he did for long-term interest rates. So I bought a put option on TLT, which is a long-term treasury ETF, because even a small change in interest rates, I mean, that could have huge dividends on an option. But I got like $400 in that option. So worst case, I lose half of it or all of it. Oh, it's the end of the world.
Dude, you'll be down at the truck stop if you lose that 400. That'll make or break you. But yeah, and
what would I be doing at the truck stop, Jay?
Butt pussy.
There, magic word.
No, dude, I just, the more Elon Musk plays around with what he's doing, the less I'm convinced of his intelligence.
Did you see the recent thing he just pumped up? Did you see the news? He pumped up this crypto called Cum Rocket. I think he tweeted about it or something. It went up 350%. Why didn't Jay, you call yourself a good investor, why didn't you tell us on your channel to invest in Cum Rocket? And if you don't give me a good answer, I'm going to unsubscribe.
I don't know, because I can't predict the future.
It's ridiculous, man. These people are, and they probably think they're geniuses. It's like, obviously, Cum Rocket was going to go up 350%. I knew that all along. I knew Elon was going to tweet about that.
Dude, it's like, this is the height of, I don't know when the bubble's going to pop, but it's it's getting to the point where it's gotten so ridiculous that people are going to be like, what? Come on, man. You know, well, the NFT bubble popped. Values dropped by 90%.
Oh, did it? I didn't read anything about that, but
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
So it's usually the most ridiculous thing goes first. And NFTs are actually more ridiculous than crypto. Like you pay.
Dude, I bought an NFT. I need to check it to see what its value is. I bought like a smiley face NFT for $10,000.
No, you're good to go then.
You think that's probably 100 right now.
Your kids will be going to Harvard.
No, even if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't pay for Harvard. A bunch of snobby elitists. And it's too good to rip off.
Dude, there was recently a Harvard psychologist that was caught on recording saying how she wishes she could shoot white people in the head. And I'm like, I mean, okay, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but like, I'm supposed to take a psychology class from you and take you seriously at this point?
Yeah, like actually, I don't read any news except business news. It's been kind of nice because I don't see any stupid propaganda stories. I don't see any crap like that. I just read about stocks. That's it. And it's actually, I'm a lot more relaxed because I don't have to get annoyed or disgusted by whatever people are saying nowadays.
Well, I mean, how much what that woman says, how much it bothers me. It's the thing that I see when I read a news article where they're like, people are outraged over this. And I go, yeah, but what people? Because I'm reading the exact same article and I just don't care.
Nobody's outraged. It's just a bunch of, they can just say whatever they want on the articles. I mean, you could write an article or I could write an article. People are outraged that you're not investing in index funds. I mean, hey, whatever you want to write, as long as you have a platform, you can say, do whatever you want. I mean, look at Elon Musk. He just elevates Cumrocket by 350% with a tweet.
Yeah, and then at a certain point, the SEC sits there and they go, okay, we're wading into this. And they will if he keeps on going. I mean, I forget which country, I think it was an African country, is the first to now introduce a digital currency. It's their currency. Although I don't understand how the United States dollar isn't already a digital currency.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure crypto has some merits, but at the end of the day, what's going to happen is the government is just going to copy the best crypto and then use that as their own.
Yeah. And, you know, China's cracking down on Bitcoin miners. So, okay, they leave. Then how long before the next country they go to clamps down on them? And then it's just, I don't know, man. I just want to crash so all these bro investors just go away.
I'm waiting for it. Actually, so like I have like my joint savings with my wife, and then I have like a huge bucket of cash that's my personal savings. I'm moving that all over to Fidelity. I'm going to keep it in like super short-term bonds. And then I'm just going to wait until there's some kind of crash. I mean, there might not be, and then whatever. It's still my savings. But if there is a short-term crash, I'm going all in, man.
Yeah, that would be smart. What screwed me over is buying the house. Because in that first year,
you got to buy a house. You got to buy a house. I mean,
no, but I mean, cash-wise, when you buy a house, right, you incur all these costs, and I'm just trying to crush down the credit card savings. So I'm only saving like 5% of my TSP right now.
I mean, it's better to pay off your credit cards. It's even better than the TSP. I mean, you're getting the match, right, with the 5%.
Yeah, I do the 5% right now, and then I'm just trying to crush these down. And then what pisses me off is my lease is up. So I'm going to have to get another lease because everything's super expensive now. I'm not going to overpay for a used vehicle. And so I'm going to probably have to do a down payment of $3,000.
Why don't you just get a scooter, dude?
I live too far away from work for a fucking scooter. I'm not driving.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like mine works like right down the road. So I told my wife, I was like, hey, instead of buying a new car, if one of our car craps out, I'll just get a scooter for like $3,000 or $2,000, super fuel efficient, and I can just scooter to work. She's like, what? No. So she wants to get a van next, which I don't want yet.
I was also going to. The hardest thing about driving a scooter is explaining to your friends and family that you're gay.
Hey, if it makes me gay to have a scooter and save lots of money, I'll do it.
Dude, I had a buddy who was super into bikes, and I go, I'm gonna go to Daytona Bike Week and just like cruise around on a scooter and like challenge guys to drag races on my scooter. And he goes, I know you're being a troll, but he goes, I'm gonna tell you the truth. People would love you. That's what he said. He's like, they would actually find that funny. This dude was balls deep into the bike community. And I'm like, I'm just cruising around on a fucking scooter in my leathers and my helmet.
It's probably like an electric scooter. Yeah, actually, I don't want people to love me. I actually I feed off the hate that comes into my YouTube channel. It actually entertains me, all the comments I get from people.
Well, dude, remember when we were talking about financial skits?
Mm-hmm.
I had an idea for a Star Wars one where I'm basically explaining to the Emperor like how he's an idiot and going over the cost of the Death Star that got blown up. And then when he gets mad enough at me, and I go, and we're right back into it. I had to issue bonds for this, like, and just going through it. And I go, and you keep saying this is a fully functional Death Star, but yet you've outsourced its shields down to Endor. This thing is going to get blown up too, right? And then where's the Empire, right? How am I supposed to pay for a third Death Star? And he gets mad enough at me that he starts trying to shock me with Force Lightning. And I just look back at him and I'm like, bro, I have a YouTube channel and I opened up to myself to the hate of the internet. The dark side is nothing. Good luck with that, bro. And I just walked off.
If you start a YouTube, if you're watching and you ever want to start a YouTube, you need to be prepared for massive hate. Even if you're like trying to be nice and just have skits, you're going to get flooded with trolls and hate. So if you're sensitive about your looks or, you don't like criticism, then maybe you don't want to be a YouTuber. Well, but I was thinking for like the Star Wars thing, do you think one day there's going to be a total galaxy index fund?
I'd buy that. Probably be the smartest place to put my money. But yeah, and it's, dude, and like, seriously, it's like I'm trying to help you. I may come across as kind of a dick, the things that I say about other YouTubers, where you're like, dude, you're just come across as angry. And I'm like, I am angry because I understand how much these guys are screwing your retirement and you don't.
You're just a hater, bro. That's what I get all the time. It's like, yeah, I am a hater. I think these people are trash, so I'm going to hate on them till I die.
Well, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why I did that. I did that video about Sven Carlin's course, where I basically explained to people in there, I'm like, I'm not actually a hater if you give good advice.
That's the same thing I say, but they don't believe you. They just think we're jealous because of the Dogecoin millionaire made all his money on a meme coin. All right, let's get to some comments real quick. All right, I guess this was before the stream. Guess I'll buy some Dogecoin to pass the time. Hey, make sure you use my new Dogecoin buy and sell tool. I actually made $5 million using that. Did you see that video?
The triple flip pancake reversion.
It's so stupid. And people believed it. I've seen that guy's channel. I guess that's valuetainment. If it's easy, it's a scam. Well, I tell you what, what's easy is YouTube. Like, imagine if we got big and then all we do is we just get on here and talk to each other and we made money off of that. But it just takes a while to get there. So I would say one easy thing is YouTube if you can actually get a big following.
Well, the key to YouTube is just consistency. That's what everybody says. They're like, if you do it long, and when you look at a lot of these channels with 300,000 subscribers, they've been doing it 8 to 10 years
before you're not going to see quick gains.
Huh?
It takes forever to build up subs. I mean, I've been doing this for a year, and I mean, I'd even had to advertise with somebody just to get subscribers. So it takes freaking forever. Crypto is a new Quicksar Amway scam way. Probably worse than. Can't you like actually make money from Amway? I don't really know much about it.
Is that like one of those multi-level marketing things?
It sounds like it, but I mean, if you can at least make money off Amway, or you can buy and sell products, I mean, that's probably more legit than cryptocurrency. It's the reason you have a portion that pays off. Yeah, I'm not against holding a little bit of bonds, and effectively, that's what I'm going to be doing because once I transfer my savings, I mean, that's my bond holdings, it's cash, but I'm going to buy short-term, very short-term bonds with my savings. So I'm actually adding a bond component to my portfolio because you want it there in case there's a crash.
Well, something else. I mean, like, don't look at what Warren Buffett says. Look at what Warren Buffett does. Warren Buffett's got a ridiculous pile of cash over at Berkshire. So what that tells me is that he can't find anything he likes.
Yeah, I mean, everything sucks except for Alibaba, maybe. Dividends are better than bonds. Not necessarily. I mean, because even dividend stocks can crash in a bear market.
Yeah, they can get cut. I was actually thinking about a small play in AMC buying their bonds. They're paying 5.75%.
Like buying them directly?
Mm-hmm.
What I mean that's kind of risky, dude. Have you seen their financials?
I said I was thinking about it. I didn't say I was going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, especially because like you might have to buy them in increments of like 1,000 or 10,000.
Yeah, you do, but I mean, here's the thing. Like, if AMC does go bankrupt, I actually don't think they're going to go bankrupt. And especially now, since they issued so many shares at these high prices, they got cash to sit on. And I think people are going to want to start going back to movies soon. The reason I looked at the bonds is I was like, okay, well, worst case scenario, if AMC goes bankrupt, I'm the first person rewarded.
Yeah, I mean, that's the benefit of owning bonds, but I mean, you can try it. We'll see what happens. You might make your money. The only thing I hate about bonds is the tax. They're so tax inefficient, Mm-hmm. I mean, you're getting 5%, but then you have to pay your state income tax. Well, you don't have one, but I have to pay state income tax, federal income tax. It's just it cuts down your return significantly. A day trade. Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with that. I'm doing put options against all the meme stocks, but it's just a little bit of money.
I don't criticize people that do like a small amount of whatever. It is what it is, man. It can be fun. You can just certain things you can just chalk up to your entertainment budget for the year. You're like, well, day trading is entertaining to me, so that's why I do it. If I lose money, I lose money.
Yeah, and I'm pretty confident I'm going to make some money betting against meme stocks. I mean, there's no way they're going to keep going up like they've been. So, but we'll see. Maybe I'll lose all my money, and then I'll cry and delete my YouTube channel. Best to have funds and some value stocks. Yeah, I guess he's talking to somebody else in the chat, but yeah, I mean, dividend stocks are not. They're too correlated to regular like growth stocks. So if you want like a component of your portfolio that's not going to crash in a bear market, it's probably going to be short term like treasuries or something like that.
Inflation protected.
Or yeah, me, Kevin James. Really? I can't believe that. There is no way.
What did he buy it at?
Who freaking knows? Probably like the high point. YOLO!
Well, dude, he's so self-conscious. He took Tesla off the one where it was 50% in his portfolio because of your criticism.
You think he actually did that because of me? That would be awesome.
Oh, is it really a coincidence that it's taken off of there right after two guys just savage him?
Yeah, it's possible. And then did you see a couple of Jeremy's new videos? They're actually good videos. Like, I can't criticize the videos. He's like talking about, oh, we're in this crazy market and you can't get fixated on all the meme stocks and look for value. I was like, Jeremy, have you watched my channel? Have you turned a leaf?
Well, in Jeremy's defense, he's been like that for quite a while now. I only really criticize him for charging $20,000 from people that don't have the money. You know, his friend Carlin is talking about raising the rates on his course to $2,000 a year, like 10 years from now. And, if you're currently a member, your rate is never going to go up. The reason I don't have a problem with that is the people that are into Sven Carlin that have $2,000 a year to pay for that, and they're listening to his message, are good enough investors that they have the money. Jeremy's course goes after poor and middle class people who think they're going to get like these massive outsized gains.
Well, I mean, I wonder about that because, like, does the average person have 20 grand laying around? I don't think so. I mean, he has like different tiers. I think the lowest one's like 3 or 5 grand, but I feel like he's targeting more of like, like maybe a tech person in Silicon Valley that's making a decent amount of money and doesn't have anything to do with it. Because like most middle class people don't have 20 grand laying around.
Well, there's a dude doing a testimonial and he's in the Coast Guard. And I'm like, bro, you have the TSP. You don't need to be buying individual stocks. Why would you buy individual stocks if you have the TSP?
Yeah, I mean, they think it's fun. I mean, and it is, but you're also taking a massive risk, which is why you keep it to a small part of your portfolio. Your advertising worked. I came here from Aaron Clary's channel. Yeah, I'm actually, ladies and gentlemen, I think I have hope of actually getting him on my channel. He said he was going to come on in July. He keeps punting me down every month, but I think eventually I'm going to get that man on my YouTube channel, but we'll see. $73. Is that the price that me, Kevin, bought it at? Did it go up to 73?
Yeah. Well, God, I hope he bought it at 73. I'm checking right now.
Me, Kevin, our hero. Let's see. Yeah, me, Kevin's worse than Jeremy.
Oh, by far.
It looks like it only went up to $62.
No, week's range, 72.62 off of Yahoo Finance.
Jesus. Yeah, on my awesome Robinhood research platform, I'm only seeing a high of 62.55, but
Robinhood's PE ratios are off on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I'm like, what the how is V&Q at like 80 PE? Like, no way. He was going to want to buy it at cheap, and his fans got mad, so he bought near the peak. Yeah, see, he can afford to lose that,
Yeah.
He's just setting a piss poor example. Oh, 50 grand gone. Whatever. Came across a channel called he actually preaches the same.
He's good. Dude, he's good. He's an actual finance guy out of Canada. I watch his stuff. He doesn't, and he said why he doesn't show his portfolio is because he's an actual real financial analyst. Yeah, I got nothing but good things to say about that guy.
Yeah, there's good people out there, but all the clowns are kind of dominating right now.
There's also a guy, I have to do more research on him. Is build your own pension, and it's an older guy, so I have to watch a few more of his videos, but I think he's preaching good stuff so far that I've seen.
Yeah, there's actually a guy called Ben Felix. I keep seeing him mentioned on the Boglehead forum, and apparently he talks a lot about like different index funds and stuff like that. So I mean, I would, if you're watching, I'd maybe go check him out too and see what he has to say, as long as he doesn't start pumping meme stocks. But I think he has a good channel.
Well, I thought about doing videos on doing a video on how to play the meme stock, where I say, if you use a small amount of your money and you double your money, just take it and run. It's basically free money at this point. If you're looking at Wall Street bets and you're looking there and you say, wow, they're all flooding into BlackBerry. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to throw $500 in. And when these fools keep diamond handsing forever, I'm taking my profits and I'm out. Then that's a smart play on the meme stock phenomenon.
Yeah,
and I think
I'm a fan of options, playing options against meme stocks. Because if you buy puts, which we're not saying buy a lot, but if you want to screw around, if you buy a put option, maybe a month or two out, that those options fluctuate. When that stock crashes, that put option's value is going to significantly increase, and then you just freaking sell it to some other clown that needs it. And I mean, I made like $100 in like a couple minutes. I know I kind of sound like a meme YouTuber now, but I made like $100 in like 2 minutes from like a put option. But
but
it's all stupid.
there's nothing. And like we said earlier, there's nothing wrong with a small amount of your portfolio devoted to it. Nate told me about how he played the whole AMC thing, and he's like, well, if I would have just thrown in this much more money, I would have made X number of dollars. And I go, okay, you over doubled your money.
Yeah,
why
you
are
don't
you
want to be
questioning?
greedy.
Doubled your money. Why are you questioning anything? Well, if I would have just held out till here. Okay, but when you doubled your money, it also could have crashed right after it. So
You know, I have a friend that trades the options too, and like you see these massive swings. I mean, and I saw it myself. So as soon as you see like you're up 50, 60%, just boom, just sell it. Get out of it. You know, because you're not gonna make that anywhere else, but you don't want to get too greedy and then lose it all.
God, I hope you get Aaron Clary on your channel.
I'm confident. I think because we've been emailing back and forth, and he's like moving to a new house, but I think I can get him on in July. We'll see.
I mean, let me know if you want to just do it by yourself. Do it by yourself. But
no, I mean, I think he would like you. I think we could all do it together.
Yeah, I haven't really watched the guy's videos yet, but I'm extremely curious on what he has to say. He basically says the same thing as us, doesn't he?
Yeah, he kind of supports cryptocurrency a little bit, which I don't agree with. But I mean, in general, he's like, just put your money in an index fund.
Yeah, but Graham Stephan throwing 2% of his money into Bitcoin, I look at that and I'll go, okay, that's the spec part of your portfolio.
Yeah, he's not a crypto shill. He's just like, okay, you should have index, you should have real estate and index funds, gold, silver, coins, cryptocurrency. I mean, so it's not the end of the world what he's telling people, but everybody's gonna have small disagreements, you know.
Yeah, and well, Warren Buffett talked about he talked about in this video. I got to post it. He said, if you had just invested $10,000 in the S&P 500, he said, of course, index funds didn't exist back then. Left it alone, you'd have $51 million today. He goes, if you had bought gold with that same $10,000, you'd have $400,000.
Gold is trash, man. And you know what's even worse? I'm actually reading Robert Shiller's book, Irrational Exuberance, and he talks about how real estate prices, like in the long run, have increased. They increase like less than 1% in real terms every year. So you wouldn't make crap from investing in real estate. Like a lot of people seem to be pumping. I mean, in my opinion, stocks are the way to go, man.
Well, I mean, like down in Florida right now where I am, speculating on small plots of land isn't the worst thing to do. But understand that you're ultimately a land speculator. I prefer to get my money from real estate in the form of REITs inside my IRA.
Yep, 100% agree. REITs are beautiful, and they've done pretty well, you know. And they're actually, the thing I like is they're not as correlated to the overall stock market. So sometimes, you know, REITs will go up, you know, the stock market will go down. So I like how they have that, like, almost, it's not inverse correlation, but their correlation isn't as significant as like other stocks.
Are you going to do a book report on irrational exuberance?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only on like page 15, so I need to get through the book.
I've got to recommend this book, The Little Book That Beats the Market. You can read it in 3 hours. So I'm going to do a book report on it, but it's a 3-hour read basically.
Isn't there another book written by a famous YouTuber? Do you have that laying around?
This one?
Stop. Dude, I'm so horrible at like pumping my book because like I don't even know where my freaking book is right now.
But dude, I'm doing book report on the little book that beats the market. Where the best part is what I texted you where he says, put your money in index funds. And then I'm gonna do this one next.
One Up on Wall Street.
Yeah.
Peter Lynch. Yeah, dude, your Peter Lynch video, I keep looking back. It's getting like thousands of views. Like, yes, and then you have like 200 likes. Like, watch you get it to 1,000 subscribers just from that freaking video.
Oh, I would love it, dude. Steal it and put it on your channel.
I mean, I'm just worried about like copyright crap. Like,
No, don't have to worry about it because that's fair use. That was on TV in like 1997.
I mean, if that's the case, yeah. But like that's my paranoia. It's like, oh, you have a copyright infringement. And your YouTube is trash and it's deleted. But yeah, I don't know what that is. Infinite banking. Infinite banking. Let's Google it, ladies and gentlemen. Is it like fractional reserve banking? Infinite.
Oh, if that's what it is.
Concept. An individual becomes his or her own banker. About owning such Oh God, is this freaking Whole Life? Oh God,
Whole Life. What?
No. Whole Life is trash. If you want more details, I can explain it, but Whole Life is such garbage. You basically borrow your own money, because you build a cash value in your Whole Life policy, and then you can borrow the money. And they're like, oh, that's why you should invest in Whole Life, because you can borrow from your own cash value balance. But you'd be much better off just, maxing your tax advantage accounts.
I'll tell you what, I'm not interested in it, and I'm not going to devote any more of my brain pan to it. My brain is my brain is
don't do infinite banking. Trust me, just buy term life.
Right now, my brain is trying to resist the overwhelming urge to buy Berkshire Hathaway shares.
I mean, if you're going to buy anything right now, I mean, that's probably one of the few things I would buy. I mean, this market is stupid.
Yeah, Berkshire, its PE ratio, I think, was like 6 the last time Nate and I looked at it. And I'm like, versus I think the total stock market is 22 or 23. And I think even the world market is like 20.
Yeah, I mean, 20 is not the end of the world. That's higher than normal, but I mean, that's not a bad play. I mean, if you want 5% of your portfolio, anything, I would do Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah. Well, what I am doing, moves I'm making, I am selling all of VYM at the end of the month after I get the dividend, of course. And I'm redistributing that money into VYMI.
Yeah, I actually checked that out. I definitely do like that. I wish Berkshire paid a dividend. No, you don't, man.
They actually do, though. That you don't get the dividend. But all those dividends that they collect are thus reinvested into the company.
Yeah, plus dividends they're tax inefficient. I mean, like either a company doesn't pay the dividend and it uses the money to grow the business, or they pay it out to you and you have to pay taxes on it, unless it's in like a Roth or whatever. So I'm actually not a fan of dividend investing, especially high dividend stocks. I stay away because like oil companies, if they're not in a tax advantage account, you're gonna get crushed by taxes. I watch everything money.
Yeah, dude, everything money's really good. I like Paul because he's just ruthless and he'll call you out on your bad behavior. It's like I have zero problem going in front of everything money's Paul or on their channel, and when they're like, well, what is your theory? My theory is I can't make a mistake if I own everything.
Well, and they actually said, like, in one of their recent episodes, they were like, yeah, you should have 95% of your money in total world or index funds. I was like, yes. Like, they actually have a fantastic channel. Yeah,
dude. Because Paul just ruthlessly destroyed Stockmo. And he was way worse than I felt comfortable going. And he was way worse on Kevin than I was. I just insulted his portfolio. But Paul just went at him. Like, this guy doesn't know anything. And he doesn't. When there was a guy who suggested that I do a video with my own analyst of Tesla. And I go, okay, so you want me to guess the future. Here's an even better.
Pay you for, Jay. Why would I watch your YouTube channel?
I'll make a 100% accurate future prediction right now on Strongman's podcast. The total world stock market will be bigger in 30 years.
I got something else that's getting bigger right now.
But
I have a 20-year term. It sounds like total. It's a magic word.
But
yeah, let's get to the comments real quick, and then we can like focus on something. They're sitting on. I guess he's talking about Berkshire. I don't know if you want to weigh in on that, Jay.
it's just because Warren he hasn't found anything he likes. But I mean, that's a valid criticism.
I mean, I'm sitting on a lot of cash too. Maybe I'm the next Warren Buffett, ladies and gentlemen. All right, 2 more comments, then we can. After these comments, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk, and then later on we'll get to your comments, okay?
I don't know. My computer's being a dick. What's this guy saying?
He says, I think there's going to be another big tech revolution, kind of like what happened when the internet was invented, but I have no idea what it will be and how I would invest in it. That's why you buy VT, buddy, because then you're already invested in it.
The next bubble, I think, once everybody gets over their electric vehicle boners, is I think you're going to hear genomics everywhere. It's going to be shouted from the high heavens by the patron saint of disruptive technologies,
Kathy Wood.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just another scam. All right, we're going to talk for a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, so don't get mad if we don't answer your comments for like 10 or 15 minutes. Oh, we got one more that's actually good, and then we're not going to read any more comments. Jay, you can go first.
Trying to play Nikola stock. I thought that I could play everybody else's FOMO, and I got screwed on it. It's a story of turning $500 into like $300.
I'm throwing in a wad of tobacco.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, some people, I'm pretty much guaranteed not to lose my money with index funds, and so I just prefer to sit back and make targeted acquisitions if I do buy individual stocks, like Bank of America, home runs. Because my personal viewpoint on investing is you're trying to maximize your returns, and the best way to maximize your returns is to not lose money. I think it's an even sounder strategy than trying to 300x next week.
I mean, it's entirely possible if you use my Cardano analysis tool, but I mean, so well, I've had 2 big mistakes. My first mistake was I never maxed my freaking Roth until I was 29 years old.
That's one I made too.
Yeah, it was a huge mistake because like I have a massive amount of money, billions of dollars, ladies and gentlemen, sitting in a taxable account, and every freaking year I got to pay $300, $400, $500 on the dividends and interest distributions. Where if I had just maxed my Roth, I wouldn't be paying any freaking taxes on it. So that was one mistake. And then the second mistake was getting married without a prenup for my first marriage. Because I got lucky and I wasn't like robbed blind, but we had a lot of money saved up, and I lost half of my money, even though I probably saved more of it. I was the saver. I lost half my freaking money when I was 26, 27 years old. And I just got back to the point where I was 4 years ago. So those are the 2 big mistakes I made.
Yeah, my biggest mistake is not he made me think of it. My biggest mistake is just not learning all this crap when I was 18.
Yeah, mate. God,
if somebody would have just got a and said, "Here, man, just throw your Boglehead here and just throw your money in this tax-advantaged account," I'd be so much more well off. But I went to school in the mid-90s. They didn't teach you any of this stuff. The internet wasn't available. My parents, unfortunately, were not people that were interested in this. So that's probably the biggest mistake, is loss of time.
Yeah, because you make all your money when you're young, in my opinion. I mean, if you put even a small amount away when you're young, it's going to pay massive dividends 20, 30 years down the road. But if you wait till you're 40, 50, and then you start maxing your accounts, you're not allowing your money enough time to compound. So it's critical that when you're young, I would sacrifice a little bit. If you're a young man or woman watching this, buckle down in your 20s, save like crazy, and then you'll be set for the rest of your life. And you're not dead at 30, okay?
Here's also another thing that I've noticed that is a huge mistake. Not listening to what other people are telling you. And by what I mean is not running out because they gave you the latest investment advice, but don't listen to appeals to authority. There could be an 18-year-old kid out there who you talk to and they give you this, they break down the crypto market and they say, look, I know this is speculation, but I'll break it down for you on how you can profit in the next year and what's going on. Like everybody has some level of knowledge. That's a huge mistake people do too, is just dismissing people.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't maxed your tax advantage accounts, you have no business listening to anybody's stupid advice on the next hottest thing that's going to 50x. If you max your tax advantage accounts, cool. You want to put $1,000 in some stupid cryptocurrency, you go right ahead. But before then, I don't do it.
And with that, what everybody's saying is everything is the new next hot stock. Go back to the late 90s and look at all the tech companies. How many of them are dominant players today?
Isn't flues.com?
Yeah. But it's like, you know.
I see more comments, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk for a little bit. Unless if you have anything you want to talk about, otherwise we can just keep doing comments.
Nah, man. I mean, comments are interesting. We can keep doing those. Slam some REITs in there and look at the Vanguard Healthcare Fund. And also, you need load up on mid caps. By that, I don't mean like load up overweight. I just mean throw some mid caps in there or small caps.
Yeah, I mean, my advice would be you don't want too many ETFs. So, I mean, everybody's going to tell you different things. Like in my account, I have a small cap value fund and I have a REIT. But in my wife's Roth, I just have VT, 100% VT. And you'll be perfectly fine with 100% VT. But since you're an old crusty fart, you're 39 years old, I would have a little bit of like maybe short-term bond ETFs in there because that'll help dampen volatility. And if there's a correction in the next couple of years, which I think is highly likely, you have that bond portion of your portfolio that's not going to crash, and you can actually sell a part of that and buy the stocks at a low. But if you're 100% VT and you're almost 40 and you have a massive crash, I mean, you might not have any cash reserves or cash equivalents to buy more into VT. So I would recommend maybe 10, 20% short-term bonds as an allocation to your portfolio to kind of like give you that rock solid foundation in case there is a dip.
Yeah, he's got a good point. And I mean adding index funds, I don't mean 10, I mean 4 or 5.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
that's easy to keep track of.
Yeah, keep VT like at 75% or more of your portfolio. That if you want to screw around with other things, whatever. But I think VT and bonds, that's really all you need at the end of the day. Maybe a little bit of small caps if you want, but it's not going to kill you if you don't have them.
I really like the mid caps. After I read this paper where they studied and they said mid caps return slightly more with less volatility since the 1970s.
Yeah, mid caps aren't bad. I mean, actually, if I was going to be a stock picker, I'd probably look at mid caps. Yeah, just do the Dave Ramsey approach. Actively manage funds, do his financial advisor, so you pay massive fees.
No, what he means is the one on my M1 Finance portfolio where it's just total stock market or S&P 500 at like 50. Then I think VT is at like 20, and I have it divided up between 4 funds. It's just a 4-fund approach.
Yeah, because you got to remember with VT, it's like 60% US and 40% world. So if you want like a purely international fund, You don't need to like mix an international fund in VT. You can either do VTI and VXUS. I'll actually write this down. You can either do either VTI and VXUS.
Hey, do that. I'm going to run to the bathroom.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Are you wearing your kilt?
No, not right now.
Lame.
Probably should be.
But so VTI and VXUS. VTI is the total US stock market. VXUS is the total international market. So if you own those two, you own the entire world. And VT is literally just those two smashed together at market cap weights. But if you want a little bit more international, then you could do like 50% VTI, 50% VXUS. It's whatever you want to do. I mean, you'll be fine both ways. I just choose to do VT because I don't have to worry about guesswork. It kind of sorts itself out for you. But I mean, either one of those are fine. Actually, I'll have to go to the bathroom. I was working outside in the heat, building a gazebo. I was dumb. I started building it at like 11 o'clock, and it was like 86 degrees. Oh, so hot. But it's almost done, and I'm happy about it. No beer, bro?
Nah, dude, I'm not I got a buddy. I stop over and see him. He'll be like day drinking at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm just looking at him like, don't you accomplish anything on the weekends?
The weekends is where you make your money, ladies and gentlemen. Look how much money I'm making from this video. I made like, actually, I probably lost money with electricity, but my business is not very profitable right now. Dumb.
Hey, dude.
Or just buy Tesla, bro. Whatever you want to do. It's up to you.
Tesla, my Tesla.
Tesla.
I can't, dude. I don't know if you saw that video, but like, the Ford Mustang Mach-E is killing it in Norway, and Norway is like the test market for EVs around the world because they buy like per capita the most.
Yeah, don't they have like massive tax credits there to incentivize EVs? Yeah, dude. God, and you were right about the Cybertruck. Like you compare that to like the F-150. Oh my dude, Tesla. That thing is not going to succeed. I mean, if it does, it'll be because fanatics buy it. But
fanatics will buy it, but like your average person is not going to buy that.
Yeah, it's stupid. You were right. I got blinded by Tesla mania.
It's easy to do, man. And I mean, like last year I was looking at it and I go, I should buy some Tesla. Everybody's talking about Tesla. Then I started looking into it more and I'm like, hang on a second. This is all just hype. So I didn't buy any, which is unfortunate because I missed out on the 700% gain. But I wouldn't have got that anyways because I would have sold it at 100% profit.
Yeah. Is that where you found me? Like, because I made a video like mocking Tesla's PE ratio. I think that's how you first found me.
It might have been because I might have been like, this guy thinks like me.
Like, I was like, 1,200. Come on, this is insanity. But
dude, you cannot get people to listen. Everybody just, it's just watching, even though lemmings don't actually do this, but it's like watching lemmings go over a cliff. It's the only analogy I have, and me being the lemming, like, hey, guys, the land runs out over there. You're stupid. We're going higher and higher. All right.
Yeah. Oh, and another note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make this clear. There's going to be a time where VT probably has a massive crash too, okay? But you need to believe me that if you own the entire world is going to recover no matter what. I mean, it could be a huge catastrophe that wipes out the human race. Okay, then VT goes to zero. But VT will go down significantly, and if you have cash or bonds, that's your chance to buy into it. So don't get mad at me if VT drops the next couple of years. You're buying it for the next 20, 30, 40 years.
Also, with the amount of quantitative easing, all this stuff works till it doesn't. understand that sooner or later you're going to be in for a lost decade. I know it's a rush that you go to your portfolio once a week and you see that it's risen, but I'm not on the doomsayers, but I do think we're going to get a significant correction, like 20%. And then I just don't see how, when you look at the Shiller PE ratio or the Buffett indicator, I just don't see how the markets can continue to go up. I mean, eventually you have to come to the realization that it goes up because of cash flows. So a great stock can be overvalued. It's like Paul from Everything Money, and I agree on this too. Love Amazon, love the business model. Think it's too expensive right now.
Yeah, I'm waiting, man. I mean, obviously, I'm going to keep maxing my thrift savings plan, dollar cost average. I'm going to max my 4 or my Roth, but I have a lot of cash. I'm just going to have it sitting in Fidelity in a short-term, very short-term bond fund, so it doesn't get affected by interest rates too much. And I'm just going to wait. And I'm pretty confident there's going to be a correction, a crash in the next couple of years, and then that's your buying opportunity. But don't stop investing in your 401k or whatever.
I made a video, or I actually made a podcast where I talked about the reasons why I wouldn't buy Facebook, and it has actually nothing to do with their cash flows. But one of the main reasons I cited is I have it in 2 index funds, my U.S. growth fund in the total stock market.
Yeah, I mean, because people don't realize how much overlap they have. Like if you keep buying this fund and that fund and this fund and then individual stocks, you might have massive overlap. You might be overweighted more than you think. So you just got to be careful. That's why I take the dumb approach. It's like, just buy VT, bro. That's all you got to do, because then you don't have to worry about, screwing anything up.
Well, the woman I told you about at my work, she's never made more than 40 grand a year, raised 2 kids, paid off her house, and is going to retire nearly a millionaire. If you asked her what a PE ratio was, she would sit there and go, what? What do you mean a PE ratio? What are you talking about? So you said it best when you said probably the best investors are somebody that just throws all their money in their 401k.
Yeah, dude, I think I was a better investor when I didn't know anything. I just bought target retirement funds. I didn't even know what an S&P 500 was. I was just like, all right, Vanguard sounds good. I'm just going to put it in the target retirement, and I did well.
I told you about my awakening, and I got fortunate that when I got out of the service, I had a lump sum, and I went over and I contracted. 30 years old, didn't know anything about investing. I asked my brother. He goes, I don't know. I just put all my money in index funds. Okay. Throw my money in the Wellington Fund and the Vanguard healthcare sector. Averaged about what the stock market did over the past 10 years. Okay. And then, my real awakening was when I was going to school for finance. We're sitting in an investment class, and everybody's making portfolios. And they're picking Tesla and they're picking Disney. And then straight up gangster professor from China, she doesn't care, she's going to tell you how it is going, you're all idiots. You should put your money in the Spider 500. You're stupid. She's just telling us we're stupid. And that was like my awakening. I was like, oh, maybe if this brilliant woman up on stage with a PhD in finance, I should probably listen to her.
I mean, I think the more you learn about investing, the more you agree that index funds are the best. Like, I just knew they were good. I read it in like a book or two, but now that I know more about taxes and turnover and transaction costs, it's like, wow.
Tax loss harvesting.
Yeah, it's just better to buy the freaking market, But you don't have to believe us, ladies and gentlemen. You can go pay Jeremy $20,000.
Okay.
It's one of the biggest companies right now. We'll see what happens in the next couple of years.
Hey, Sparky, watch Everything Money's. They did a video on this, and they talk about Tesla's market cap versus Ford and the cash flows Ford has versus Tesla. That market cap is not going to last.
I mean, even if you assume Tesla is going to one day be as big as Toyota, which I think is the largest company, like you would still have to cut Tesla by 2/3 to really be realistically valued. It's so stupid. I hate it. Pisses me off. It needs to crash. You just got to be patient. Ford is disruption. The new truck is disrupting Tesla.
Dude, it is, man. And
really?
like I talked about last week, wait till they come out with an electric Ford Bronco. Good luck.
Did I share an article on my Facebook about that? Like they're coming out with like 2 new cars that are going to be electric.
They like when people talk about Elon Musk is so smart, he is. But understand that the people working in the boardroom at Ford are not stupid. They're like, oh, it's over there. You're doing the electric market and you're eating our lunch right now. Okay, well, we got more cash on hand. We'll start developing EVs. Oh, and then we don't have to buy your carbon credits, which is the only way your company is profitable.
I was so close to buying Ford stock, like maybe like a $500 or $1,000 play, because I was like, everybody's talking about Tesla. All these other companies are going to start making these new electric cars, and then you're going to see a reversion. Tesla is going to freaking crash, and all these other stocks are going to shoot up. And I really considered it, but I didn't do it. And I regret it because I think Ford has been kicking it recently.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, NIO stock pushed by StockMo. Like it doesn't even address the fact that NIO is diluting their shareholders. They keep issuing more and more shares.
Doesn't matter.
Even in the AMC push, nobody talked about how on Wall Street Bets how they're diluting their stock.
Yeah, dude. I think the whole AMC meme stock thing, I think it's just like a youth rebellion. You know, like the youth always rebel against their elders, the suits. That's exactly what's happening. That's how they're fighting the man now. They're buying stupid stocks because they want to screw over the hedge funds.
But what they don't realize is the guys in the hedge funds are smarter and more educated than they are, and they'll find a way to screw them over right back.
Oh, yeah. They're so much more sophisticated. I mean, it's basically free money. I mean, if you know what you're doing and you know these meme stocks aren't going to stay up where they're at for long, I mean, all you got to do is buy a couple options and you could crush it, you know? And that's what the hedge funds are probably doing. The hedge funds, bro, we're going to take them out.
I'm diamond handing. Okay, well, you're going to be doing a lot of hand jobs in retirement if you keep that up.
I mean, I think once we have a big market correction or a bear market, I think a lot of these clowns are going to go away and all this hype is going to die until the next bull market. But you just got to be patient and wait. And in the meantime, you just have to listen to idiots on YouTube.
Well, then when there's a bear market and everybody's like, the stock market, it's terrible. Like you and I will be sitting there with those like little celebration hats on. Like I'm buying everything hand over fist. Like, but it keeps going down. Keep buying.
I mean, true investors, like if the market has a sustained bear market, you know you're a true diamond hands and a true believer if you keep buying consistently and over, and you keep seeing your money go down and down and down. That's true diamond hands, not these clowns.
You bought Dude, I'm crushing it.
I would say, I mean, I don't know if he's joking or not.
I think he's joking. I think he's joking. But if you, in the hypothetical, if you aren't good, sell it, buy an index fund.
I can't tell if he's joking or not. You don't know what you're saying, lol. You want to debate me, bro? Let's go.
I don't know if that guy's serious or not either. So
yeah, I mean, like whatever.
If he was serious, I'd just go, okay, well, just keep buying Doge. All right. I was like, well, sometimes it's hard to tell in print, like art, like you're reading it and like, is this a Doge guy that found this channel to yell at us?
Well, actually, the clue was because I have Bogleheads in the title, so I don't think any Doge guys are looking up Bogleheads videos.
I'm
look at Boglehead, huh? Just put Tesla, bro.
Dude, I've made that point like several times with people. I go, you know what the ultimate form of rebellion is? Jeff Bezos going, Chris, we got you a good job in the warehouse, so you're going to run 13 miles a day to get this package out in 67 seconds. And you looking at him like, yeah, I got an alternate plan, Jeff. That is, I built my portfolio out. I'm going to go fuck off at the beach.
Yeah, I mean, my burning desire in life is to be financially independent. And that's why I've been like just laser focused on it. That's why I scrimp and save and invest, because one day I know I'm going to get there. And then I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. And nobody can stop me. I don't have to worry about going to work and sitting in front of a freaking computer for 8 hours a day. You know, if you believe in that and you think you can get there, you know, you'll understand why I'm so fanatical about investing in
Nerdy Bernie can get there, man. He's got even if you're a dude, right? And say you make, you know, you're 39 years old, you make 70 grand a year, and you have zero savings right now. You are still going to be able to crush your investments as long as you just live below your means, because kids are, you know, they cost a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, I've only been investing for 10 years, and I've done extremely well with. I mean, of course, we've been in a bull market, but I mean, even 10 years, if you're maxing your accounts, you'd be shocked how fast you can build wealth. Oh, and if you haven't already, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe, and then also go to Jay Nagy's channel and subscribe as well.
I'll tell you what you see. I'll tell you, it went to 2, and it went to 2.3. Did it?
Went from 5 to 2.3. No, he invested $5, and then now he has 2.
All right. I was like, no, but I'll tell you where you see your results is usually about 10 years, because if you look in my portfolio has generated more money than I've put in.
Yeah, it just takes time. Dave Ramsey's not going to be happy with you, Nerdy Fernie.
Dude, I do the exact same thing. Everything I buy on credit cards that I try to pay off at the end of the month, it's just now I'm trying to crush it down, because when I bought the house, I spent money, man. Money I didn't want to spend. But it's better than renting.
I made a fortune off credit card points. I mean, I don't pay interest. I just pay it off. And, I get 2% back. Actually, so if you get the Fidelity card, it's like their credit card. If you pay it off, you get 2% cash back directly into your brokerage. So I just get 2% and I just go buy, more VT. It's pretty cool.
Ooh, I might have to switch over Fidelity. They're giving me a higher return than Chase is. Chase, I get 1.5. Trust me, it was quite the rush when I bought back my federal time. And so I'm like, I bought back my federal time. So now I have the pension, and Chase Manhattan paid me $180.
Yeah. The freaking that pension, dude. So if you don't know this, if you work for the federal government and you have like prior military service, because me and Jay are both heroic veterans, you actually have to buy back your time. So I had to spend $7,000 to buy 5 years of retirement. And what did you spend? Like 6?
I spent a little under 6. 8.
Yeah, that was painful.
Yeah, 8.5 years in the chair force of aiming high.
I cried because I was like, I had to go. I bought back my time. I bought my wife a wedding ring. I bought a prenup. I spent money on a prenup. I was just getting hammered like 2 years ago, but thankfully that's over. Yeah, I like Fidelity. That's what I use for my Roth.
Mine's with Vanguard. I started with them.
Yeah, I have crap spread out. I have like money, and I have like a target retirement fund in Vanguard, and I have a Roth and Fidelity, and I have money in Robin Stock or Robinhood or whatever you want to call it. It's just all spread out, but I need to consolidate that. It's getting annoying. Here, I'm going to step out and get a Diet Coke. You want to keep the masses entertained, Jay?
Sure. NFT market crashes. I'm going to try and find this article. Okay. This is off of the Hyper Beast. So this is what happens all the time when you can pretty much guess when something gets ridiculous in speculation. According to reports, the NFT market has officially crashed after just 4 months. And this is what I thought when I first heard about these. I was like, wait, you're paying money for what? A GIF? And then on May 3rd, the NFT market reached a peak of 102 million USD worth of non-fungible tokens sold just that day. But looking at the sales data from the last week of May, only 19 million US dollars in NFT sales were processed compared to the 170 million USD in NFT transactions the week of the peak. The market saw a 90% drop. Although NFT collectibles like CryptoPunks and hash marks are still going strong, there looks to be a shift from the crypto art market to the metaverse NFTs. It is also important to note the number of active NFT wallets has dropped from over 12,000 to just 3,900. Yeah, it is what it is. It's at the height of a bull market. Selling.
Were you talking about NFTs?
Yeah, I just read a quick article from Hyperbeast about the NFT market officially crashing.
Maybe that'll be my next video, dumping on NFTs. There's so much material, ladies and gentlemen. It just never ends.
I want to do a video on my Tesla projections. My Tesla projections are that Tesla becomes the entire world market.
What is the world market, like $90 trillion or something like that?
Yeah, no, I agree, man. And that's why, like, I start to look at Elon Musk. Okay, dude, it's funny in the beginning, but now these people are losing money. You're fine because you're a billionaire, and that's the game I can't get that he's playing. This guy is way too smart to actually think that Bitcoin is the future or NFTs are the future. I know what Cathie Wood's game is, and that's get as many inflows into my stupid ETFs before this thing collapses.
While she collects those delicious fees. I think Elon Musk is just a troll. I think he's having a good time. He's probably bored, to be honest. I mean, it might.
Well,
It's probably only going to help certain, like in the art industry, it just seems like very few make it to the top. So I'm sure they make money off NFTs, but.
well, dude, there was like a couple of like YouTubers. I think Bad Luck Brian was one of them, but they sold their memes. And one girl was working as like, it was the fire girl where there's a house on fire in the background and the girl's just creepily looking at the camera. I think she made like 500 G's off of that, and good for her. I hope she doesn't blow that money. I'm glad she made that money. It's just that the person that bought that supposed asset, I mean, it would have been more productive to just walk up to a homeless guy and give him $500K.
Yeah, we're not, or at least I'm not against artists making money. What I'm against is, speculative crazes that encourages people to buy, fundamentally worthless things for exorbitant prices, because I think it's going to screw a lot of people out of their money. But yeah, if artist makes money, I don't care. I mean, good for them. Or if a rich person, like if like one of the rappers buys an NFT and they lose their money, okay, I don't care. But if it's just like small guys that are putting their money in NFTs instead of VT or something, yeah, that kind of pisses me off.
Well, the football player that's converting his entire 2020 or 21 salary to crypto, I go, okay, dude, you're going to be a dude that's broke in retirement.
Jay, football players are excellent investors. Come on now. Maybe, have you considered that you're wrong? What if he had his money in Cumrock and he just made 350%?
I hope he retires after that and avoids the CTE.
Now, what happens to these people is like if they make money, like a massive gain in something, they're not going to stop because they get addicted to it and they're just going to put it in something else and maybe they do good in that, but eventually they're going to make a big mistake and they're going to lose it all. That's happens all the time. It's like a gamble.
Think about how dumb you were at 21 or 22. You know, and imagine
I was a genius at 21.
Nobody gave you a financial a lesson on finances, and then somebody handed you $12 million.
I don't know what I would have done. I mean, like, I was kind of a weird kid. I was into finance since I was like 15. But yeah, like the average 21-year-old is going to be an idiot and blow it. Oh, got a comment. It's all this crap. Came across them in a fire movement video.
Is that My Rich Journey? I'm going to look up because I don't know exactly what the.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know all the ticker symbols, but I think VFIAX is Total International, maybe. I think it's just the VXUS mutual fund equivalent.
That first one is the S&P 500 index fund. That's a good one. But there's a Fidelity fund that charges 0 expense ratio.
Yeah, and I'm personally not I mean, I like the S&P is better than a lot of things, but I think you should have total US. So, I mean, you're not going to go wrong with FXAIX, but I think you should have total US instead.
IAX.
And then, yeah, I think at VFIX, I think that's total international. I could be wrong.
I'm looking that up.
I'm going to look up SWIPX.
Oh, yeah, that's the Vanguard S&P 500. Either one of them are fine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're all S&P 500 funds. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but you want, in my opinion, you should have more than US. I think that's too concentrated, but I mean, it's better than most investments out there. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, they don't overall give bad advice. The only thing that annoys me is if it gets people into doing it, it gets people into doing it, and I'll leave it at that. But it's like, you know, I don't know what you're going to learn in one of their courses that this guy isn't going to teach you, or, you know, this guy isn't going to teach you. In this book right here, this one up on Wall Street.
Pull up the Stop Being a Broke Loser again. So this Cessna guy, I think I know who this is. Have you bought my book yet, buddy? You gotta support your friend, okay? No, so this guy, he's a hero. He actually made a ton of money in QQQ because it had a massive run up.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you have PT now, but I don't know. We'll see.
No, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, he made a ton of money. Stomp your feet. It's an inside joke. I mean, yeah, they're all the same thing. They're all S&P 500 index funds.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like My Rich Journey, they're not bad. It's just with the whole course thing, man. It's like,
do they sell
buy a book for $9 that'll teach you everything and more that they're putting in there.
Do they sell like expensive courses?
Yeah, they're like $120.
That's not bad. So, ladies and gentlemen in the comments, if I made an excellent course, how much would you pay me for this course? And it has to be at least $10,000. What's your number? I didn't put my money in QQQ, man. So I guess my number's not as high as yours. When I become a big YouTuber one day, maybe that'll be different. QQQ versus VU. VU, 100%.
VU all day.
$0.00. Yeah, all my money's in Bitcoin, so I can't really tell you.
Dude, I told you last time. It's like getting out of the Air Force. I hear about Bitcoin. I'm like, I should throw $1,000 into this just to see what it's going to do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't, and my life would be completely different if I did. Because if I would have sold, I think when I looked it up at $16,000 a Bitcoin, I would have made $21 million.
But you probably would have been one of those guys that like had it on a zip drive. Like, wasn't there a guy that had it on a zip drive and he like lost it in a landfill? And there's a picture, like an article, and he's like standing in front of the landfill with like a sad face because he lost all his Bitcoin.
Bro, I'm going to tell you right now, that video would have been completely different because it would have gone like this, me with the sad face, and then you would have just seen slowly this over the course of it.
Oh, we have some additional comments here. LMB, what could that mean? Lick?
My.
Oh, you got me. Hey, if you're back in the U.S., you need to contact me.
Dude, I actually got contacted. My buddy put me in touch with another guy who's getting out of the service after 20 years. He's getting out of the Army. And he was like asking me questions about the VA system. This dude is going to walk out the door 100%.
God, $3,000 a month. I actually have somebody at my work that has 100%, and they're still working, and they're actually like super competitive. Like they want to make GS15 or be the CFO. I'm like, you make $3,000 a month tax free. Could you chill out a little bit? Okay, you're gonna be fine.
Well, that's why
I would quit instantly. If I got 100%, I knew I was gonna keep it. I'd be like, bye.
Well, I got my permanent and total letter. I'm like, I have to tell people I'm not I got tennis elbow 100%. I'm actually 100%. But, I don't.
Tell. No, I'm just kidding.
You can tell that the IED gave you brain damage. But no, that's why if I started making, I don't know, my YouTube channel got to the point where I monetized it and I was making a G or two a month, retiring.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a badass German Shepherd and become a stand-up comedian and do YouTube videos.
See, I only have 20% disability, but I went to a training course and I broke my foot. Like it was a legitimate injury in the military. And of course, I didn't get anything else for it. So I was really pissed about that. I can't retire yet off my disability.
I fractured my ankle in basic training. And they were like, you can go to the medical flight or you can tough it out. And I go, I'll tough it out. Guess what? It's not even in my medical records.
Oh, JJ.
And I have consequences from it today.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably, I don't know, maybe you could somehow get like a sworn statements or something. I mean, it doesn't matter. You already are maxed out.
That's why I don't complain about it.
Yeah. Would you recommend to add O to my portfolio? No, it's not diversified enough. VNQ, it's like Vanguard Real Estate ETF.
And put it in your IRA.
Yeah, because the taxes will kill you with freaking dividends.
On REITs, they're considered non-qualified dividends, most of them. There are incidents where they're considered qualified dividends. So that means you'll pay the top marginal tax rate on them.
Yeah.
Versus
hammered. And plus a lot of YouTubers, I think they talk about whenever I see YouTubers talking about a specific REIT or stock, that scares the crap out of me. So I try to avoid it. Strongman, what is the best state to retire in? I don't know, buddy. You tell me.
I'll
say Florida.
One with no state income tax.
Yeah, if you're a minimalist and you're making a high income, that's the place to retire because you only pay property tax unless you just have a small place. And then if they have a high sales tax, well, if you're not a spender, you're not going to be spending a lot of tax on that. So you guys like VHT? Is that the Vanguard Health ETF?
Yeah, it is. Well, I told you I own the actual index fund in my portfolio. I think keep it at like 10 or 15%. I'm way too overweight in it. And the reason I am is because I'm just half the time just way too lazy to trim positions.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of healthcare. So, I mean, a lot of it's personal, like the whole point is as long as you have the majority of your money in index, like VT or something, you're going to be fine. You can do VHT. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't let it dominate your portfolio.
It's like everything money stresses.
America.
I can't answer that question because that would all be like a personal thing to you.
Yeah, I'm lazy. I don't want to learn a new language. So the only place I'm going to retire is in like an English-speaking country. But I'm just going to stay in the U.S.
But the most important thing that people have to remember about investing is do it, time in the market, mostly index funds, have a process for everything.
And stick to your freaking plan, okay?
No, there's no change in your plan. If your plan is, I mean, you can amend it as further knowledge is learned, but if your plan is VT, great. If your plan is 20 to 30 stocks, which to me is just too much work, but if you want to do that, as long as you have a process for when and where you put your money, you're going to be fine. And you're not, oh, this position dropped by 50% and you panic sell. You're going to be fine.
Well, what if my plan is to YOLO and Doge? I mean, as long as I stick to it, I should be fine, right?
Yeah. I mean, as long as you are ready to supplement your income in retirement and doing things down at the truck stop.
Well, what's happening down at the truck stop?
You're selling something. Selling the most valuable commodity you own.
Look, Cessna. That seems really complicated, okay? I mean, like, I know a little bit about it, but not enough to be, like, preaching to people about details. Do you know anything, like, about how that works? Like, you basically put money in your Roth, and as long as it's there for 5 years, you can start taking it out.
Okay. I know a little bit about that, but why would you do that?
This guy's going to retire early.
Okay.
He'll retire before he can start taking money out of his tax advantage, or before he can start taking out of his tax advantage accounts.
Okay, but then I go back to, still, why would you do that? I mean, because to me, it's just me personally. My money goes into the Roth and it's there till I'm 59 and a half. And I want to be in a position where, is he military?
Yeah.
So he's retiring from the military. So you have sources of income. So get a part-time job and wait till you're 59 and a half.
What if he doesn't want a part-time job? Well, I mean, yeah, if he gets 100% disability, he doesn't even need
if you could, I would go to, after 20 years, it's highly likely that you'll come out 100% plus your pension.
Yeah, I know this guy very well. That's his goal.
Yeah, what are you spending your money on?
He plans to shoot himself in the foot. I should have done that.
That's not a bad plan. I had a buddy who was in special operations who might have misfired a gun into his leg. But I haven't talked to him for years. But me and another guy are pretty sure he made Delta. He got outstanding graduate at Ranger School, and he was an athletic and extremely intelligent dude. So
Delta's like super top tier. So even like the best of the best, I think only like 2% make it into Delta Force.
Yeah, it's like making SEAL Team 6, DevGru. I mean, that's just like you are the 1% savage of 1% savages.
I'm basically the Delta Force of financial YouTube.
Right. But I go back to live uncomfortable for as long as you can so you have comfort down the road. It doesn't mean you have to be a Spartan living in a tent. But if you have 100% disability and you have your retirement, I don't understand what you're spending your money on that you need to go into your IRA.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And my point is, why need some supplemental income? Well, you could find a job that's just fun that could supplement your income. Go walk dogs. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like go bartend on Friday and Saturday night somewhere just to get out and talk to people. There's a lot of stuff you could do part-time that'll bring you medical billing and coding, pay $16 to $32 an hour, and you could work from the beach.
You can even come and cut my backyard, Cessna. I mean, I got some yard maintenance that needs to be done. I'll pay you like $20. Hello, boys. What are the advantages of a VA mortgage versus a traditional mortgage? Would you like
no money down, lower rates?
The only thing that sucks about the VA mortgage is if you don't have any disability, you have to pay a funding fee, which can be pretty significant. So if you're going to use a VA mortgage, I would definitely say you want some Dizzy if you can get it. Me, Kevin, is getting less viewers lately because Tesla. Well, that's why he's going back to AMC, isn't he? You know, he always has to chase the newest thing. That's why his channel is unsustainable, because if you have a stupid investing philosophy, you might look good for YouTube, but I mean, who's going to be around in 10, 15 years? Strongman Personal Finance or me, Kevin? Dan from cirrhosis of the liver.
That's a strong possibility. Like I had a joke about the Great Reset, where that was one of the jokes in there. In 2030, you'll have your own organs grown for you, and I'm like, 2030, I'm not going to make it to 2025 at the rate I drink.
You need to switch over to the green stuff. You might live longer. Not flying a 172. Wally World. See, that's funny. Does somebody have two accounts and they're commenting? That's interesting. A friend told me those truckers are generous. Yeah, I'm sure it was your friend, nerd.
Yeah. Second career as a lot lizard.
The best of the best of the best. I know. I mean, I don't like to brag, ladies and gentlemen, but find one YouTuber that talks about VT. None of them do. Because I'm a freaking hero. I'm a savior. I'm the Jesus of financial YouTube. Negative on the fine. $25. How about that? Got to stay busy, buddy. I need
25.
Huh?
I was going to say for $25 though, you got to cut the lawn with your teeth.
Yeah, that yard is so tiny, dude. Like, even $25 is excessive. Is there a Vanguard ETF? I don't think so, and I hope they never have a crypto ETF.
They're coming, and I wouldn't buy it. Like, this is the thing you always have to remember about speculation. By the time the general public understands that there's speculation and your grandma is talking about cryptocurrency, the speculators have taken profit and moved on. They're in the very beginning.
I mean, we always say 5%. So,
but
if you wanted to.
Yeah, if you wanted to. I mean, I just don't play with money. Expect to lose your money in crypto, and don't play with money that's going to affect you down the line.
JL Collins. Oh, have you heard of this guy, JL Collins?
No, but if he's preaching VT, I like him.
I'll check him out. JL Collins. I'm jealous. I thought I was alone in this fight, but I guess somebody beat me to the punch. Dummies Crypto.
Fortunately, I get Viagra supplied to me through the VA.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you take one every time before we start the podcast?
Mm-hmm. I try to see how long I can go before the financial talk just turns me on.
Maybe I'll find something to mow your lawn. You can't even mow my lawn. It's so small. You can only use a freaking weed whacker.
Dude, when you said you spent time out there, like how much time you spent, I go, how is that possible? That it takes 20 minutes for that thing. My backyard is way bigger, and I can do mine in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it probably takes me 5 to 10 because I have to cut the grass, then I have to sweep, and then I have to spray the freaking fence off because there's grass splattered on it. So it takes 10, 15 minutes maybe. Pumping some cummies. Oh yeah, we were talking about this earlier. This is the that's the cum rocket cryptocurrency that went up 350%.
This is the beginning of the end. I said it a while ago. Once I said, well, didn't I say like boner coin or something? As soon as that happens, it's the beginning of the end. That's why I really need to make my tulip coin video.
Yeah, or the South Sea coin. That's why he wears the kill.
Easy access.
Dale. Yeah, that name did look familiar.
Yeah, I'd have to look at him, but I'm sure if he's preaching low-cost index funds, he's good.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I've read that book. I wonder what I would learn from it. I am from Mexico. Here we pay. Oh, I didn't move down to Mexico.
Dude, you got some cash being right there over the Mexican border as long as you just stay on the good side of the cartels. Might not be the worst thing.
Yeah. Stop talking about crypto, but yay or nay on Dogecoin?
Dogecoin, I think he's what he meant.
No, Dogecoin, bro. It's a new one. It probably is a crypto. It's probably for idiots that don't know how it's spelled. They're like, oh, it's Dogecoin. You know, they buy it.
I have to say nay.
Yeah, actually, I posted a comment in the Shiba Inu subreddit, and of course, I got a lot of downvotes and hate, but it's always fun to troll a bunch of idiots. I basically flayed them alive and told them how they're all a bunch of chumps that are going to lose all their money, but it wasn't well received.
What do you want to do? You want to call it? Because I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, we've been going for like almost 2 hours. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, like, subscribe to our channels. I'm Strongman Personal Finance. I'm a handsome.
I'm Jay Noggy.
That's Jay Noggy. I'm a handsome YouTuber that's going to save you from financial ruin. And buy my book, Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's $3, okay? I need a fire with my book sales. Stop being a broke loser. I love it. You can't beat the title, ladies and gentlemen. To the moon, my dude. To the moon.
To the moon. We're all going to the moon with VT or VTI.
VT, baby. Lick my balls, okay? I borrowed it. You borrowed my book? Buy it. Disgusting. All right. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day.
All right, guys.
Like the video. Bye. Choose.